Well, we'll keep this brief. I have not started my own media company. What I have actually done, after many years on the road, is start an entirely new platform. I've spent a lot of time as a broadcaster, and I've watched the sort of decline, the business crisis, the crisis of the business model in my industry, and it became pretty clear, in the last few years that this crisis was existential and that it would not be solved within, the huge legacy media organizations that I loved and worked for. I think not-for-profit news I would make the exception there. It's just obviously a separate model, but it became apparent also watching journalists exit legacy media organizations and try to make a living in all these different platforms that essentially we were really squatting in other places. Social media, YouTube, Substack. No one had ever really built a platform, a monetization platform for journalists. So I came in from the field. I spent some time at the end of 2023 teaching at Princeton, teaching journalism there. But I actually spent a lot of that semester at the entrepreneurship department, with some folks at the computer science department, essentially building out the plans for Noosphere. And so it was informally, I suppose you could say, incubated at Princeton. And when semester ended in January of 2024, that's when Noosphere was incorporated, and we raised our pre-seed with investors in 2024. We were in stealth mode. Vice effectively collapsed as a news organization that March. Many folks from there, including my now co-founder Seb Borka, came in from there. And we closed our initial round and effectively had a team of engineers in San Francisco build Noosphere from scratch. What was most exciting was bringing in journalists, like award-winning photographers, filmmakers, writers, and broadcasters, zooming them into our weekly dev calls with our design team in San Francisco. Whether you're a photographer and you say, hey, I want to be able to talk over my photos. I want to be able to do audio and play audio while I walk people through them. Or you're a writer who wants to be able to basically file photos alongside of all of your text. You want to be able to send push notifications to your mega fans. What was so exciting was that we were actually building it ourselves. And that's what we've really done. And we've built the first ever real monetization platform for journalists. It is an app. After spending an incredible amount of time under a rock of research or reading the extraordinarily qualitative research that there is out there about consumer habits, especially for young people. And I'm really looking at anyone sort of age 16 to mid 40s, so including the elder millennials like myself. There's a huge push for a social media experience online, so a sort of user experience, but with quality work, with journalism that they don't necessarily have to question. And that's really what we built out. So Noosphere had a very soft launch at the very end of February. It's available in the US App Store now, for iOS. And what we are is we're a closed platform, so invite only, but we basically invite journalists that we love who are entering the content creator space, and we basically provide them with really great tech and tools to monetize their work, build their audience and their community, but to do it as a group. So we effectively track every subscriber who comes to the platform. We know which story, which journalist's work brought them in, and that journalist then gets that subscriber for a set period of time. And so, but what it actually means is that the subscriber accesses the entire platform and sees everybody's work. So we really wanted to solve for a business model problem within legacy media, but also within a lot of independent journalism platforms now, where everyone's competing for that same $6-8 a month. We wanted to take that away and solving for the consumer, who is now faced with, well, how many people can I subscribe to? Because it really adds up every month. So really, it's been a very exciting journey to go from having been a foreign correspondent and a journalist to building something that I look at now and I think, God, I wish I'd had that when I was a 25-year-old running around Mogadishu with my own camera. I'd never been allowed to have a career without the good graces of a network or a newspaper. And so we're really just trying to build out a better future for that. And so that's what we're doing at Noosphere. We'll be launching in the UK very soon, and also launching for Android. And that's really our story as we continue to grow and build throughout 2025.